Micah Frankel, Cage Minds. Once again, it's a pleasure to be joined by Vanessa Demopoulos. How you doing, ma'am?
Doing awesome. What's going on, Micah? Glad to be here.
Man, great to get to talk to you. Happy to see that you're going to be back in action here. LFA 69 taking on Nadine Mandiau. I may have got that last name horribly wrong. I apologize for it. Haven't heard it before. Get that out of the way now. But yeah, Vanessa, what do you think about the upcoming fight here? Getting back in the cage.
I'm so excited to be fighting for LFA again. I love LFA so much, man. This was like a last minute call to be on this LA show, and I'm living here in LA, so this is so exciting for me to have this opportunity. I just feel so blessed. I'm so honored to be able to fight.
Talking about it's a late call. How much notice? How long was this one? What kind of timeline was this fight put together on?
I believe it was about a 4-week timeline. So, thankfully, I stay in the gym, year round. I'm not one of those athletes where, I'm here during fight camp and then I disappear and, take a 3-month vacation. I stay training. So, I was already ready, and then we get the call. So, it's just a matter of honing everything in, for whatever particular opponent it is, and just making sure diet's on point. So, to get the call, I think it was less than 4 weeks out. I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. Let's do it.
And where do you feel you're at from the last fight? Valerie, we saw in the interview last time, we talked a lot about you want to use your striking, and we saw that right hand land accurately a lot in the last fight. So what did you feel about the last performance?
It couldn't have gone better, if you're asking me. I came here to Black House MMA in Los Angeles literally 2 weeks before that last fight with Valerie. And so to be able to kind of put together such a solid game plan in such a short amount of time, imagine what I've been able to do living here full time now. So, this is my gym, this is my home, this is my family. And, things have definitely changed and kind of just been better moving forward as a fighter, as an athlete, and as a professional MMA practitioner.
So since LFA 62, what's been your biggest focuses then for your MMA game, whether it be on the athletic side or the martial arts side? What's been the biggest focuses?
Definitely being a better artist as an MMA fighter. So, previous to LFA 62, I was very much a jiu-jitsu professional where, I was very submission focused, I was competing in pro jiu-jitsu, all leading up to that. And then, the fight with Valerie, I really focused a lot more on MMA. And so coming here to Black House, it's, I just feel more complete as an athlete versus just having one skill that I was very strong in and just kind of leaving a lot of other windows wide open.
What has that been like? How have you been able to engage in that mental switch where you were so jiu-jitsu focused and then you're able to see more options, look through the different MMA options versus just going for those jiu-jitsu options?
Well, I'm a 3-sport professional athlete. So, for me, I really like to live in whatever sport it is that I'm doing. So, for example, when I was doing pole dancing, it's the reason I got so good at that was because I lived in that sport. And then when I was doing jiu-jitsu, I was really living wholeheartedly in jiu-jitsu. So with MMA, I've really focused on what is it to be an MMA fighter? How does that really break down, and what are the qualities that I need to start possessing more wholeheartedly that I wasn't previously, where I was just kind of stepping into the cage hey, I've got a few skills and I'm really good at this, so allow me to utilize that, where now I'm no, MMA is its own sport and it needs to be treated like that. So, yeah, that's definitely been like a huge focal point for me. You know, just having that mental switch, hitting those gears, being here with Black House, you know, having Juan Gomez as my head coach, you know, who really just sees me as an athlete and understands my strengths and is able to kind of cater to me personally, you know, what it is that I need to kind of focus on to be the best MMA fighter that I can become.
And looking at it from, you've been in the 3-sport athlete, we've covered that before. At least with the pole dancing, there's no bad tendencies to pick up for MMA. So with having immersed yourself in the jiu-jitsu so much, switching over to fully immersing yourself in the MMA, did you find yourself having to fight against what felt like were some tendencies?
I did against a soul fight. So, you know, I really didn't kind of grasp MMA. That was my second professional fight as an MMA fighter. And it is so much different, you know, than jiu-jitsu, where I was like, you know, as a professional jiu-jitsu artist, nothing matters aside from getting that submission. You know, sometimes it's a no time limit. Sometimes in professional jiu-jitsu, it's a 10-minute time limit, you know, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. But even if there's a time limit, it's the person who's hunting the most. You know, so in MMA, it's very different than that. And I learned a really hard lesson. So yeah, there was that tendency that had kind of been corrected moving into LFA 62.
And now, what do you think's been the biggest, or will be the biggest area we see of development in this next fight, where people are going to be like, wow, this came along? Because last time we were talking about your striking, we were talking about that right hand coming away from the fight.
So, you know, walking into this next fight, this opponent is much taller, and everything is, you know, just kind of been focused around understanding what it is to go against an opponent of that size. Just knowing that, you know, she also identifies as a grappler, which is great for me because that's something that I've just really lived in for such a long amount of time. And just kind of loving the process of what a training camp is. So, you know, I can go into so many more details, but you guys just have to watch and keep your eyes peeled and don't look away because some good shit's coming.
And how much more in detail can you get about your comfortability with the camp, with the team, with their processes? As you said last time, it was a 2 weeks in LA before you took the fight. Now you've had time to get accustomed to everything with the coaches in Black House and had this time with them. So how much has that been of value?
Oh my goodness, insurmountable value. So just being able to kind of train with some of the most elite fighters in the entire world, being here at Black House MMA, you know, Kenny Johnson with Bolt Wrestling is just amazing, and getting to train with Carla Esparza on a daily basis, and just kind of having her as one of my very close friends. She's actually going to be cornering me for this next fight coming up. Ashley Smith-Evans has been helping me so much during this camp, you know, making sure that she's wrestling with me every day. And I have a world-class black belt who trains with me on a daily basis, Aaron Hurley. You know, so it's like, I mean, the training here is amazing. It's incredible. I'm with some of the highest caliber of athletes that I can get around. And just being around people who have the mindset to be a champion and to push forward and to be at the elite levels. And not only are they my training partners, but they're my friends. And so, you know, to have people who are really in your corner in their hearts, you can't get past that, you know, and I'm really grateful and I'm very thankful. And, you know, I'm just like, I love the fact that God was like, you know, this is where you belong and this is where you need to be and let's go, you know, and they've just really taken me under their wings. And I'm loving being here. I'm loving this process.
For any hesitations, obviously you feel like 100% you've made the right decision.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. You know, to any athlete, you know, who kind of struggles with what do I want to do with my career, you know, I'm really loyal to the gym that I'm at. I am still very much in love with my first gym, Ronin Training Center, out in Columbus, Ohio. You know, they taught me everything that I am, and you know, they really encouraged me and wanted the best for me selflessly on their behalf. and coming here to LA just to have that blessing from my team has just, I mean, it's amazing, and yeah, I'm a different athlete now than I was previously. And it definitely, I made the right decision in coming here for sure.
And now we also know that from the last interview, you had spoke about running a business and having other endeavors that you're doing while you're out in LA. How's all that side of life and work going?
Life is awesome. So, yeah, I'm crazy. I'm all over the place, and I do a lot of things, even outside of being an athlete. I try to be an advocate. I try to speak. I'm an author, and I build websites. I do a lot, but, I'm also an extremely disciplined and focused human. So when it comes to things like fight camp, nothing else matters. So I put everything else to the side. I have those conversations with my business partners and, just saying like, hey, like right now, I do not have the capacity to continue to do things in the same caliber as we have been. So just allow me to take this back seat and, be there with me through this process. And then, life kind of takes its turns like that, because later on down the road where I will have more capacity and others do not, so you pick up the slack. And I think that when it comes to business, it's just like anything else, like a relationship or something, where you need to kind of just be wholehearted and understanding of, life's current situations. So I'm very where I need to be right now as a fighter. Everything is pushed to the side so that this fight camp can be everything that it needs to be and have its attention. But outside of that, business goes well when I'm not in fight camp. Business is going well still. I'm just, that's not my focus right now.
LFA 69 is this Friday night. We know that you're totally focused on the fight. Any way we can get you to talk about a little bit about your goals, whether it be right now as an athlete, a martial artist, or your future goals for your MMA career?
Oh, absolutely. I love LFA so very much. Very honored to be a part of the LFA organization. I do have goals to move on to the UFC. I'm hoping before the end of the year, but I do not look past exactly where I am today. And I think I even said this on the last interview. I take things moment by moment, and I love the process of today and what that brings. So I'm really looking forward to Friday, and then just kind of moving on and seeing what is behind that door, door number LFA 69, coming on Friday. I'm just really excited. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait.
And as far as your, acrobaticness or whatever kind of maneuvers you're trying to pull off on Instagram when you take people's suggestion, what's the newest maneuver you're trying to conquer?
Right now, I am trying to kind of do a handstand, which I'm actually not good at handstands, believe it or not. So I'm trying to do like this handstand and then like kind of go into a worm position to land on my butt and then do a pop up from there into a front flip, like handspring. It's fucking dope, man. I don't know. I'm just trying new shit all the time. So I love body function. I have fun with it, and I believe so much in just having a good time with whatever it is that you're doing. And that's why I love fighting so much, because I'm always just having such a good time. And I love doing little fun gymnastic stuff. I mean, it makes your body strong. You get to laugh, try new things. Structure is huge, and it grows those small muscle fibers, to be able to be more agile, even structurally as a martial artist. So, yeah, fun stuff. So, it's a handstand into a roll, into a pop-up, which is like you see in the old school kung fu movies, and then into a front handspring.
And did somebody give you this idea, or did you see somebody do this and said, I want to do this?
No, they just pop in my head, and I'm like, man, that'd be so dope, Also, there's a guy here, Michael Vasquez. He's actually pretty dope on Instagram, but like he does a lot of cool functional stuff too. So, like, sometimes I'll see him do something, and I'm like, oh, I want to try that. And then, like, I try it. But for the most part, I've always just been self-taught. Like, I'll just think of something really cool, and I just want to try it. And sometimes I land on my face, and it's funny, and I laugh it off. So.
I believe it was your video. Did I see strength and conditioning and kind of shadow boxing with frisbees being thrown at you?
Yes. One of my strength coaches here, Matt Cooper, he does the most awesome strength and conditioning stuff. It really works on A, small muscle fibers, B, reactionary things, C, strength training, functional, like stability, and all in one. It's insane. It's amazing. Like, I'm so blessed to have him as a conditioning coach, because it's like I've never seen any other trainer do stuff like he does. So. Yeah, and then I saw, like, shortly after that, Henry Cejudo's coach started doing a little something like that, and I was like, okay. Some people are watching others, but
if it works.
Here nor there. Huh?
If it works, people are gonna copy it.
Hey, it's the goody good though. So if you guys aren't following Rewire Performance over there, like, get to it, man. He's got some good stuff going on. I'm really blessed to be here in this gym and be a part of this team. I really am.
If it's not Vanessa Demopoulos, who's the most positive person in MMA?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. It's just me. No, I'm joking. Henry Cejudo is a pretty positive person. I got to be out there in Phoenix for a long time when I was training for some other stunts that I was doing. And just kind of watching his fight camp unfold for his first match against Mighty Mouse, or the recent one where he won the belt. And, yeah, he's just a very positive human as well to be around as an MMA fighter. So, there's some other fighters here at Black House that are super positive. There's someone coming up on the Contender Series here soon. His name is Zach Zane. He's a very positive human as well. Loves God, and just always very grateful for every training session. And it's people like that I'm just like when you get around those types of people who are just happy individuals and just really loving every single moment, the great ones, the hard ones, the ones where we're sweating and want to cry, like, those are good people, and, like, that's the type of life that I want to live. Like, I want to wake up, and I do. I wake up every day, and I don't care how tired I am or how tired my body is. I'm just, like, excited that I get to do what I love, and I'm excited to wake up and just kind of grunt through the first 10 minutes, and then I'm, like, peppy all over again, and I get to come to the gym. And if you ever see, like, people tagging me on Instagram, I'm usually fucking smiling and jumping around and dancing and shit, because I really love this, like, this is really what's in my heart.
Is there anybody at the morning practice that just believes that you're just way too hyper all the time?
Oh, you mean every single person in the gym? They've acclimated to me, I guess. It's not so much accepting where they're just like, oh, okay, this is just her every day. That's awesome. Yeah. No, yeah, they just love me now at this point. They're like, oh, okay, it's just Monster.
It's great stuff. It's always great getting to talk to you. Everybody should know that Vanessa's one of the best follows on social media. She's always got a message. So speaking of that, what are you feeling today? What's the message today?
All right, so to anybody listening to the message of the day, I want you guys to know it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what past you think is holding you back. You can become something amazing. You can overcome. Don't ever let your past determine your future. Like, you have the capacity and the desire to want to be more and get after that stuff. Find the resources, find the tools, and find the people who are going to be there with you and through the tough times and are going to care for you enough as a person and see your vision to want to help you to become better, because you deserve it. You do deserve to be the best you every single day. And I love you guys, and I care about you so much, and I want you guys to live your best life, always.
It's always great getting to talk to Vanessa. Did you have anybody else that you needed to thank, shout out to?
I do want to shout out to my sponsors. Jazzercise has been like really huge recently, and Synergistic has just been like so dope, in helping me with recovery one-on-one. And I definitely, my coaches. So Juan Gomez, Kenny Johnson, Bolt Wrestling, Carla Esparza, Matt Cooper, and Coach Renee here at Standout Performance.
Tune in Friday night, LFA 69 on